Today we are going to do a really cool project. We are going to be making your own custom shoes. I might call them slippers because these are something you probably would wear inside more than outside. However, they could still protect your feet outside if you made enough layers. So you're going to need a shoe for this project. Go ahead and grab a shoe and clean it off before we start because you don't really want mud on your sculpture in your new shoes. So just kind of get them clean. The shoe that I used has never been worn. That's why it was so clean. If I used any other shoe, it would not look so nice, and it's okay. If yours are a little dirty, it's probably gonna be fine. And if you can't find a shoe, then maybe you could just put like 6 socks on your feet and then you could do it over your foot. But the key is making sure when you start out with the packing tape, you just wanna do one loop so it sticks to each other. You want the sticky side out to start with. If the sticky side's in, it's gonna stick to your shoe and you do not want it to stick to your shoe. It's really hard to get off if you do that. So make sure sticky side out when you start. Put your tissue paper on it and then the sticky side down. Then you're gonna cut down the back and the bottom, open it, pull your shoe out, and then retape it. And then you can kind of cut the top. You could cut like a little V in the front of it just so that it's easier for you to slip on. But I would make 2 of these. I made 1 just so I could show you, but you should probably make 2 because it's more fun to wear 2 shoes than 1, usually. Let's get started. Grab your shoe that's hopefully clean. This one has not been worn yet, which is probably the only reason it's clean. And what we're going to do first is we are going to wrap it with our packing tape. And the key here is you want to make sure you wrap it with the sticky part out. You do not want it to stick to the shoe. You want it to stick to itself. So the key to doing that is just start in one spot and I'm wrapping it around and now it's sticking to itself. Let's make sure you can see this. Sticking to itself. So then I keep moving. It's okay if it's not flat, but you do want to overlap it a little bit. You really only need 1 or 2 layers of packing tape on this. What you want to do is make sure you're wrapping it with the sticky side out. If you touch it and it's not sticky, that means you need to start over and put the sticky side out, not in. So the whole shoe should feel really, really sticky. The only part you don't want to cover is the part where the foot goes inside because that still needs to stay open. Once you have covered your shoe completely in sticky tape, packing tape, what you want to do is kind of press it down. And this is just going to keep it so that it's in the shape of that shoe. Like any of these pieces that are hanging off, we want them to be all connected to the shoe. We want the bottom to be flat. And once you've done that, you can go ahead and grab some tissue paper. And the reason tissue paper works well is because it's really flexible, or you could even use these streamers. These just party streamers. I might put some of these on the very bottom of the shoe because it looks cool how it's red, and so I kind of want to keep that. So I'm just going to put it right on there. And the nice thing is it will stick because it has packing tape on it, sticky side out. So you can design your shoe however you want. You could draw pictures that go on it, cut out like real shapes or cut out random shapes to put on it. I might just, why not? Why not just put a heart right there? Okay. And then just keep covering your shoe with tissue paper. You don't have to add the tissue paper either. It's totally optional. I've just made some random shapes. You could probably design a way cooler shoe than I'm going to design. And again, you don't have to add this layer. And you could even think of it as designing a shoe. You could do it a lot cooler than I've done it. And after you add as much as you want, now you're going to cover it with tape again, but you're going to put it sticky side down. So the challenge of the day is finding the end of the tape, right? It's not easy to do. Okay, sticky side down. So let's start. And you really only need to do about 1 layers of this. If you're unsure if you've covered a part or not, just touch it and see if it's sticky or if it feels like the tissue paper, then you probably need to cover it again. Oh, also if it starts to twist, you just want to cut it. If your tape starts to twist and bend, just cut it and start again. So I can tell I just have this one last spot left that I need to cover. And that's about it. Maybe a little bit on this part. If you only have a few places, you can just cut pieces of tape and place them over it. Or you can just wrap it how we did it before. Can you wear these shoes? Definitely. Inside. I don't think I would wear these outside. All right, this is covered pretty well. Now, here is the tricky part. How do we get this off of your shoe? This is where you might need help from an adult or a friend who's a little bit older, because you do not want to cut your shoe. That would be very bad. And little scissors like this, they might be a little bit hard to cut this off with. So this might be a step that you need a little bit of help with, but maybe not. There might be people watching this video that are 15 and some that are 5. So just be careful when you're cutting it off that you do not cut the shoe. So you want to just kind of move around the back of the shoe. So you want to cut down the back, and then what we're going to do is just cut a little bit onto the heel, and that'll make it so we can peel this off. Oh, look, it already let me kind of move there. So I'm just going to cut a line a little bit down, and then you can open it and pull that shoe out. And now all we need to do is retape this line right here and the line on the back where we cut it. So I'm just going to tape the back first. And then I'm going to put a piece of tape along the bottom here. Just kind of smash it down, make sure it stays, and then you could take your scissors if you want and just change the opening of the shoe so it's a little bit more uniform if it's kind of wonky or pokey at all. And there you go, try it on. You should be able to put your foot inside of this. If you can't, you can cut a little V out of the top right here, and that'll just give you a little bit of wiggle room so you can kind of open it up and put your foot inside of your shoe. So this is our tape shoe, and I want to see your designs. I know you have a way cooler one than I did. All right, how did it go? I hope no shoes were harmed during this process. If they were, I'm really sorry. Maybe an adult needed to help you cut that part of the shoe off. Sometimes the shoe that I used got a little dinged, just a little bit, but it was worth it. To create something like this, it was worth it. So maybe you learned some things about design today. Product design. You know, what color the sole should be, different shapes maybe that you used around it. If you even chose to, you could have made this without any tissue paper and it still would be really cool. But I hope you have fun wearing your shoes, and I hope you have a wonderful day today.